countdown going and got everything going right, and then out of nowhere, I forgot to hit go live.
Well,
Oh,
welcome back.
welcome back, everybody. Okay, so Impact and I, we changed the name of our show. We are now TMI.
That's right.
TMI, which is awesome. Okay, so my phone just gave me the notification that we finally went live. The countdown's going, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sitting here rejoicing, telling NC I feel so good about this right now because I did it. And then I look over and I forgot to hit go live. And so we went live a couple seconds later. But that's
It's
okay.
all good. It's all good.
Now I just need to figure out how to set this up to where our logo is in there, but I don't know how to do this.
What do you mean?
I mean, well, the logo's right there, but it's not showing the whole logo, so I don't know what's going on. I think I'm just really bad at
I mean,
technology.
I see the parts that matter. So see now it's too big. You can't see nothing. So did you mute yourself? What happened? Starting out with a bang over here. That's what I'm talking about. Wow.
Okay, how's that? Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Hello?
it sounds. Hey,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
sounds like you're talking into a fan, but
Oh, hold on. Let me try to fix that one more time. Keep talking to everybody, and I'll be right back.
yeah. Oh man.
My mic just went out again.
Uh,
Testing, testing. One, two, three. Okay, there we
yeah.
go. Yeah, I think we're
I,
good. If not, NC's going to be hooking up the mic for me here that goes to the laptop.
well,
Okay.
so we're gonna put a GoFundMe out there for Truly to get new microphone.
Hey, that's nice of you. Go for me. No, I have a new mic. NC bought me one for Mother's Day, and it works really well. If you guys want to do a GoFundMe for a new laptop, that would be awesome. I'll do that one instead because this one's just like
Yeah,
overload.
yeah.
Good
Like
morning.
we actually been looking at some new equipment for the Metalhead show, and it's not cheap.
No, it's not, and that's the unfortunate part. It is not cheap by any means, and so I
But at some point, if at some point you got to take that dive into doing what you love and making it all crisp and awesome and all that good stuff.
that's about it. I had to hook the laptop up in the living room. So if you guys do hear any outside noise, I do apologize. It's today I had to hook it up out here because my computer doesn't want to connect from the bedroom anymore.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
And
been a
if you
fun
hear any
week.
outside noises from my side, it's the kids trying to get back in the house, and we're not letting them. So,
You know what? I should have thought of that. I should have thought of that right away. So tell me, how the hell have you been, Impact? It's been a minute since we've done a show.
yeah, it's been good. I know you've followed along with my Saturday endeavors, so you kind of
I
know about
do.
all that. So,
I do.
but
I do.
but uh,
I've only
but
been
yeah,
around for one show.
it's 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 been a while. Yeah, but it's good to be back. Glad you're doing better. Uh,
Yeah,
so
definitely. Thank you. Yeah, and we're back today, and we are no longer truly impacted because, well, that sounded like a horrible porno or bad
that,
constipation. So now we are known as
right.
TMI.
Take a stick
So,
of dynamite and call me in the morning. Here you
right, exactly. So now TMI is going to bring you a lot of information on different
go.
topics as we go throughout the weeks. I actually feel like that suits us better anyways.
Yeah. Well, it's like my wife says it. She goes, "Is that true? Is that too much information?" And I was like, "No, that's actually too many insults. That's what it's going to be." So,
Too many insults, too much information. I mean, it's all the same thing, right?
actually, no, it's for Truly and Mr. Impact. So, TMI.
TMI.
Mm,
And take it any way you want.
right. Yeah. Yeah. You judge your own. You judge your own life. We don't judge that for you. So.
Yeah, we try not to do that. It's just weird being back on the air with you. It's been a long time. I think we've only done a show twice since what, March? So we're back in
Yeah,
the
probably
full
something like
swing.
that. So.
Yeah, it's definitely been a minute. Now I feel like I'm actually doing a show. When we're doing our shows, I feel like I'm talking into a ball microphone, which I am, but it doesn't feel like the show if I don't have my headphones on.
Right.
Maybe that's my problem. Maybe that's what I'm gonna have to start doing. Is just hooking them headphones up and being like, yo, 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 get back in there. Oh man, we had a really good show last night. I don't, did you catch any of it last night?
I
Truly
did
impacted
not.
with Dan.
Yeah, we were winding down the week and hit a little burger joint up the road from where we work with a bunch of coworkers. So we didn't get in until 9:30 or so last night. So we were crashing at that point. So
Well, I guess that's not too bad then. I mean, you if you guys missed it, make sure you guys go check it out at VOPUSARadio.com. And also, I'm going to do a shameless plug for you real quick since we're doing shameless plugs before we get into our show today. Check out Metalheads Unite over at VOPUSARadio.com on Saturday mornings. They have a lot of stuff over there. I like listening to Metalheads when I get up and when I produce with you guys. If I'm not sleeping in, literally,
right.
when I'm not sleeping in, I'm there. So definitely, it has been awesome to listen to what you guys have. I can't wait for this week's show. So you guys just have so much to talk about on Metalheads, and I'm just like
It,
sitting here.
we almost get carried away sometimes, and I think that we probably should add an hour. But I don't want to do that because I don't that's not an every week thing.
Yeah,
So
but I
it'd be
mean,
hard to
it's
it'd be
kind of
hard to
fun.
fill that hour if we don't get carried away. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So,
there's usually a story or two that gets us pretty wound up. So
well, you just let us know, and we'll work with that. You know, get
yeah,
that entertainment in there, the entertainment news.
yeah. Well, like I said, if at some point because we got a little bit more free time, we may wind up doing a 3 hour show. But, we kind of look at it to trying to do a musical radio side to it too. Throughout the week. So that's one of the things we're wanting to do next. So uh, I think we're going to shoot for that next, and then we'll worry about expanding the podcast show later. So
Well, let us know because I'm definitely down for the musical side. We just had a new show actually go on right before we did, just a few minutes ago. They ended. It's the Pino voice. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, I do apologize. They're actually in the Philippines on our new
mm-hmm.
station out in the Philippines. VOP USA Radio is. We just went out there and expanded out to the Philippines, and they were in there and they sing so beautifully,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I
I've,
sit
I've
there and
caught a
I can
couple.
enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've caught a couple of their shows. They're pretty talented little girls. So
And then they sit in there and they get going with their music, and then you come over here to our show, and then you're sitting here headbanging into the wall because we got Nonpoint playing, opening us up.
uh,
So I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on over here at the VOP, and so Mr.
so
Impact,
I'm gonna do a shameless plug for my boys since you brought them up. So
do it.
if you haven't heard, Nonpoint has a new single out called "Roofless." You need to go check that out. That's a damn good song. So can't wait for more from those guys later on.
Yes, I'm gonna have to go check that out. I love Nonpoint, so
Yeah, I mean it's to the point where I would probably change my music. That's how good it is. So
you're like, I'm gonna tune in over here. Um, but I have something really exciting to tell you. And it's just a teaser because we can't say anything until we're all ready to go in as a whole and say something here at VO people. We got some big news coming up and I'm excited.
right.
That might be the coffee talking, but I'm like sitting here, clutched fist, all
I know
excited.
it's like when we had a conference call about all that earlier in the week, and I think I brought up that it's almost like making a movie, and I think the first film I was ever a background in was Pitch Perfect 3, and I remember having to sign all this information about you can't say anything because like the studio could sue you, and you're a background actor, so I'm sure you don't have $1 million. So it was pretty intense trying to keep your mouth shut about a big project for I think it was something like 7 or 8 months before it actually came out after we shot. So it was it was a, it was the longest time I've ever had to keep a secret in my life. So
Definitely. I mean, we had to learn that when we were filming. Even then,
right.
it was just a few weeks, but still, you have to sign that
Right.
contract,
Well, I mean,
and
so as I said, like that was my first time ever having to do anything. So that's what I think that's what was like really exciting about it, and then like having to hold that in for that long was just challenging. Like now it's kind of like I've done a lot of stuff, so it's kind of like whatever. I'll see you in 6 months.
you're like, we got this. We got
I'll see
this.
you at the I'll see you at the premiere, whatever.
See you at the premiere, get that red carpet ready to go.
uh,
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be huge though, and I cannot wait until we drop the announcement. We're like super, super excited, and I just
yeah.
want to get all the listeners super, super amped up and ready to go too because, well, they didn't want the teaser last night. They wanted the whole thing, and that's just not how
Well,
it works.
yeah. That's
Like every movie has a trailer and a teaser. That's what we had to do last night with minus
right.
the video part for it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it'll be worth it in the end. So.
Yes, I'm definitely excited, and I think everybody else will be excited too. I'm going to ask NC real quick because he's sitting right here. NC, are you excited about the big news? Big time, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's sitting out here with me today because, well, like I said, yeah, thanks, I appreciate it. He's going to be going live with Dan tonight for Shock, which will be exciting.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is Thursday night.
Shock Thursday. Yep.
I might have to
So
sneak in there. They're usually still on when I take my dogs out at night, so I usually sneak in for a little bit and listen.
there's
I
nothing
try to
wrong
get
with
them riled up, but I don't think they read any of their messages. So.
sometimes they read them, sometimes they don't. It just depends. It depends on how much they're watching. But I know that TWRP is actually going to be going live on Sunday.
It's so funny
Today.
with like listening to the show on Thursday because I'll know that like Dan will be all fired up and serious into something, and then I comment something, and then I hear him laugh, and I'm like, yeah, he's
Yeah,
seen
yeah. That's all you really can do with these
it.
shows. I do want to drop this though for anybody listening. If you guys would like to chat with us, please feel free to comment. We could get most of our comments in our chat box in front of us right now, and we can read those and we can interact with you guys a little bit better. So if you guys would like to say hello or anything, please comment because we're going to be jumping into the gist of the show here in just a second. Um, we're just kind of giving a hi hello because, well, we've been gone for quite a while, and just like Eminem, guess who's back? Back again.
Yeah.
TMI is back. Tell a friend. So, we're excited and we're pumped up about it. So go ahead and leave us a comment. Let us know you're listening and join in on the fun. But I mean, why not jump into some stuff that we can really talk about and get everybody going? Let's give them some TMI right now. Let's do it.
Well, man, it's like I said, it's been a while, so there's a lot of stuff we could talk about. But I think the one of the most recent things that I think I sent that over to you about the vaccine type stuff that's
Yes.
going on. I think like the thing that bothers me with that is a lot of people may not know, but I was in healthcare for about 20 years, and the thing about some of the stuff that they say just amazes me. I'm just like, are you people like really that dumb to think that people that know a little bit about healthcare would believe any of the shit you're saying right now? It's just uh, it's I think the thing that I really got I think I got most amused about was I can't remember the actual story or comment, but somebody had and they were in politics. I believe they were in politics. From what I the story I was reading was from a political website anyway. Uh, but they had said that I guess there's like a new they're talking about a new variant or something of COVID supposedly,
Yeah.
or it's mimicking COVID. I think is what they were the way they put it. Um, but the, one of the things they said was, yeah, we're dealing with a new virus we know nothing about, and I just like that resonated with me, and I'm just like, yes, we do that on a weekly basis or maybe even a daily basis at some point. That we
Yeah.
deal with stuff we don't know nothing about all the time. It's like it's nothing new. I mean, people think that the COVID stuff is new. Like, no, they've dealt with that type of stuff for a long period of time. And if you think that they just all of a sudden come up with a vaccine in 9 months because they knew nothing about it, then I'll pray for you because that's
It to me concerns me that they came up with the vaccine so quickly. Um,
they've been working on that forever. Though don't let them try to tell you they have not been working on. They have been
okay,
working on that.
I rephrase that. Yes, they have been, but like I think the fact that they're throwing it out in 9 months to act like they're the savior of all the virus going on and everything, and yeah, they expanded it. NC was telling me they expanded it to another variant now on
Yeah.
top of Delta. There's another
Well,
variant of
there's
COVID,
always
and
a
they're like, oh, we don't know if the shots are going to help this.
well, of course not. It's just like when you take a chance of taking
Absolutely.
a flu shot, you don't know what variant of the flu you're going to be dealing with that season. They're just predicting. They're having to play a futuristic type role in predicting what's going to be there. Um, that's what happened with H1N1 is, none of the vaccines contained any of that because it wasn't an issue in the United States before. It's kind of like what we're dealing with now. This was never an issue in the United States. And if you listen to, the World Health Organization, it wasn't, in January of 19, it's never going to make it
Right.
here. So,
And that's the crazy part. And I'm just so tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of watching people freak out about it. I mean, I understand that it could be serious to a degree,
yeah.
but also at the same
Well,
time, I'm just like, can we just please stop?
it's like anything else, man. You need to live your life, and you need to take the precautions necessary to protect yourself. Whatever you think that may be, then you do what you feel you need to do. But we can't damn each other over difference of opinions. You know what I mean? It's not like, well, like where I work, we have vaccinated people don't have to wear a mask anymore. So if that doesn't create a hostile work environment, I don't know what does, because you got half people running around without a mask, and then half people that are. So you got people without it that have been vaccinated looking at the people that have not because they're wearing a mask as the problem, and that's not really the case. I mean, um, you have to think there are certain situations where some people can't get vaccinated, so uh, we don't need to be too judgmental. So
As Dan has said before, as NC has said before, as I have said before, and I know that you have said before, this is just a way to segregate everybody, to divide everybody up further than what we already are.
I think I've said this before too. I say if you haven't, so this isn't new. Okay, we've been it's been black versus white, it's been men versus women, it's been Christian versus atheist, and it's been vaccinated versus unvaccinated. It's all these things. Cop versus civilian. I mean, they've done everything they can or they could possibly do to keep a divided line into the citizens of the United States. It's you know if nobody can see that, everybody needs to realize after evaluating all that who the real problem is. It's not us. We're not the problem. I mean, we'd be just fine if you had people that weren't trying to manipulate us into making a dollar. You know, that's
Yeah.
that's the problem. Until we realize that, then we're doomed anyway. So
Yep. And that's one thing that people are just now realizing. It's been this whole thing where we were in lockdown for God knows how long.
Hmm.
So they're saying everybody that's vaccinated can go without a mask now. Everybody's good to go. And then you sit there and you turn around and now they're like saying, oh, but this could spread to the next person or this person or this person. And you're just like, what do we do now? And it's just getting frustrating.
So can a
All
lot of
these
things.
things.
I mean, a lot of things can spread. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't look at things, so let's think about let's go back to about like 85 or 86. Uh, that was probably like the first time I've ever heard of anybody with HIV or AIDS. Uh, but do you hear any stories like that now?
No, actually, believe it or not, we were watching TV the other night and this AIDS commercial popped up and now they have a cure. I'm like, okay, well, it took you a while, but at least you got a cure for it. So
Right.
I was happy to hear
Yeah.
that for the people that had been suffering, but it's unfortunate for the ones
Well, so
that
you want
didn't.
to know why? You want to know why they have a cure? Because they knew they couldn't make any money off of that because people were protecting themselves. And I think they learned from that where people were protecting themselves to keep from catching stuff like that, so they couldn't make any money off of that. I mean, I worked in the pharmacy business, and medications for that stuff are freaking unreal. I'm talking like 30 pills for like 3 grand type stuff. I mean, so it's an
Ooh,
expensive disease to
disease.
contract.
Yeah.
So so yeah. So I mean, so that's the thing is like you can protect yourself to keep from getting that stuff. Cancer, on the other hand, doesn't pick and choose,
Yeah.
who and what they infect. So, with that, they don't want to cure that because it's such a big money making thing for the pharmaceutical business. So,
Yeah, and it's becoming unfortunate now that it's coming this far.
yeah.
But like I said,
So
it's
so the
cool that they're finding the solution, or well, sort of the solution, as I throw up my air quotes. They're
right.
trying to look for solutions to the problem, but it seems like they're making the problem worse with some of the solutions that they're coming up with.
Well,
And
the thing with cancer is at some point they're going to have a cure for it, and then it's going to be people, if it happens in our lifetime, we're going to be older and we're going to be like, so you could have saved so many people 20 years ago. Like, why the fuck did you not do it?
right, yeah, and that's the thing that comes down to it. This I feel like they just do things on their own time. This is their depopulation, and that's what
Well,
we've talked about on here too. This is population control with them.
yeah. So you want to know the biggest problem with people is they forget too easy. They forget little things too easily. Um, just like with I say that like 20 years from now, we'll be the ones saying that, but all these younger people that didn't live in that time where they had to deal with it won't know.
Yep, yep. It
So
just
it's almost like those stories you used to hear your grandfather tell you. Oh, I remember back in walking up the hill in the snow both ways barefoot to go to school, that kind of bullshit. I mean, it was still a story that would probably ring true at some point, but we didn't have to deal with that. So we're just thinking, he's full of shit. I mean, that's how it's going to be.
great. Well, and you see it, and like I could be one of those ones that tell you those stories about backpacking across to go to school in sub-zero weather because we had to do that. And now they see a snowflake come down, they're like, "Oh, nope, we're canceling school." And I'm just like, why? Why? We had to bundle up 12 pairs of socks on, 10 pairs of sweatpants. Like, I wish I was joking because it got so cold. We had to go. We were waiting for I gotta tell you this since you brought that up real quick. We went to go when we were in school, we had to go catch the bus to get to class. Obviously, we were on 2 hour delay. There's like 3 inches of ice on the ground. No joke. And it went up to my waist and it was about 4 inches of snow or 3.5 inches of snow or feet, excuse me, feet of snow on the ground. We had to bundle, and it was negative 20 degrees outside. We had to bundle up and walk down to the bus stop just to get to school.
Mhm.
They're like, "Oh, yeah, you got a 2 hour delay." And I was like, "Yeah, no, probably not." I went back home. I was like, "I'm done. I'm done." And everybody was like, "Oh, you didn't go to school today?" Oh, I was like, "Yeah, probably not. Too cold. Too cold for me." And I just And nowadays, like I said, you see a tiny little snowflake. Oh, we're out of school. Oh, well,
Right.
teachers need a day. Okay, well, teachers had days back when I was in school, and they only got like one every couple weeks to get all, or a few weeks to get their stuff done. We weren't out every other day because of all these conferences and everything. So it just shows how much the world has changed since we were there. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. But back to the vaccine
Yes.
box that we were just talking. Sorry. I know that was kind of like the thing, but what I'm saying is it shows you how far we've come and how different everything is.
Right.
So it's just showing you how different everything was from when we were kids. Back
So
in the
so I
80s
had
when you were, go ahead.
so I had COVID back in March, and my physician advised me not to take a vaccine at least 6 months. So that's kind of where I'm at. So that's why I'm like telling people don't just take judgment on someone because they're wearing a mask, because there could be a reason why. Uh, so it's like in my case, I can't take a vaccine right now. I mean, I guess I could if I wanted to defy my doctor's orders, but I think he probably knows more than I do about it. So, but but like the thing with that is, I had it. So when I asked someone about the vaccine, I said, "So why are you taking the vaccine?" And they said, "Well, it helps boost your immune system, to fight it or whatever." I said, "Okay, so what does it happens when you contract the virus?" Well, it helps boost your immune system. I'm like, okay, so why do I need the vaccine? I mean, if I've already had it, didn't I just boost my immune system for it?
Right. But they don't seem to look at it that way. And to me, that's very concerning.
Well, I mean, it's not a fun virus. I'll tell you that from experience, because, like I said, I had it, but it's still we got through it. It was a little rough. I mean, it was a little bit rougher than the flu, but at least it wasn't the pukey and diarrhea stuff. That's the worst kind of sickness to me. But that's,
The flu,
uh,
yes.
but uh, but yes, I spent, like I said, I spent 18 years in pharmacy business, and like I I I probably took two flu shots my whole life, and I may have had the flu twice my whole life. So I don't see, uh, like I said, if you have a weak immune system, yes, of course, go out and do your thing to protect yourself. But with me, I'm pretty healthy, so I'm not going to go out and you know risk taking any of the risk myself, because I don't feel like I need to. But
Right. I mean, and it's everybody's choice. We don't look down at anybody
right.
for doing what
Well, I
they
mean, that's the
feel
thing. Is
to
like you
protect
can't
them.
say my body, my choice for one thing, and then not for the other.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
it
Exactly.
has, it's your choice. I mean, it's like I'm not going to knock you for getting it. I'm not going to knock you for not getting it. That's your. I mean, that's the great thing about being free. You know.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the biggest thing. But we're going to take just a quick second right here because, well, I guess I didn't get a proper intro when we opened the show because, well, I was having a morning and I was all backwards with everything. So, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. I am your host, truly VOP, here with my co host, Mr. Impact for TMI. We are discussing topics from COVID to other various topics this morning. So, if you have a topic that you would like us to discuss, please go ahead and leave it in the comments. We have the comments right in front of us, so we're able to interact with you guys as we go. I love being able to interact with our listeners. I think that's
Yeah, I
really
just wish like I know we see it all on Haps when they comment, but if we comment through Haps, then they don't see it if they're on Twitch or somewhere else, which I don't like that. But that's
I
why I
mean,
got
we
it
can
all.
always
That's why I have it all pulled up, so I could just switch over real quick and comment. But
exactly. Exactly. We can always just go over there and tell them, we see
yeah,
you over on this app.
I just
And
thought it was kind of wild how it, it's a it comes in, but it won't go out. It's kind of a
yeah,
weird
it's set
scenario,
up
but
yeah, definitely. Like when TWRP does theirs, I'm usually on their TWRP apps and reading comments to them, and they're usually over on YouTube reading the comments off there so they can interact with
gotcha.
all their listeners. So I'll sit here and I'll be like, okay, so and so said this or so and so said that, and then they'll go from there, and then they're reading it off Haps, and they're like, oh, we got it, but then they can't reply because it doesn't go straight to YouTube, and
So is
so no.
VOP still on the YouTube shit list or?
I don't even know. I'm here. I'm here to work. Like that's all I know. I'm here for my shows. I don't know. I don't know what apps we're getting grounded off of anymore. Um, so I actually need to look into that and kind of see what's going
I
on
mean,
with that.
we have plenty, that we go out to, so it's not like a total.
96 as of right now. 96
Yeah, so I
platforms.
mean, you go on 96 platforms. I mean, yes, YouTube's one of the big ones, but I'm not going to cry about it, I guess.
I what I wanted to eventually do, impact, like we were sitting there just thinking about this and getting listeners involved. I want to do a giveaway over VOP here soon. I want to do a giveaway to listeners and stuff and start getting that listening base going again because people really aren't sure because, well, our show has been MIA for many months because due to my health, due to family problems, due to other things, I haven't been able to be on the show like I would like to be. And so, I think we need to get that back up and get some merch giveaways going or something.
Yeah, we I actually just actually I'm doing that tomorrow, I believe. I think me and Chris discussed that for the Metalhead show that we're going out and getting T-shirts made next this coming up week. So
Rock
uh,
on.
yeah, personal T-shirts. We'll see how it plays out. If everybody likes them, then we're going to do a little thing on ours too, like that. So
I mean, I could whip up a really cool logo, like a really, really cool logo, get them printed on a shirt or something, do a giveaway. I just want to be able to interact with our listeners and get to know our listeners that I don't know better because, again, been gone so long, kind of out of the loop on things. And I know that we have listeners all over now. So that's what makes it even more fun.
right, yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's very. I guess like that's what we not to get off subject to another show, but that's kind of like one of the things that we talked about with our when our on our metalheads page. It's like that genre of music is so diverse with countries that you know it's relevant in. It's just like so crazy to me to know that. I mean, we talk about different stuff every week about bands from Sweden, Switzerland, Germany, uh, Samoa. I mean, it's just unreal. Well, how far out that genre of music has spread. It's just so crazy. But and it's the same thing with this. I mean, it's so crazy to know that when we started doing this, I think one of the first interactions we had was from India, and I was just like, wow, that's crazy. But
Yep.
but it's awesome to be able to reach out, to different parts of the globe. So
Yeah. That's like the fun part about doing all this. And that's the part that I love the most is seeing where people are from, what it's like there, asking questions
yeah,
about there. And so it
and then I
becomes like
think
an interview for them.
right.
Kind of feel
Yeah,
bad
it
about
does
that
because
though.
then we dig around and want to know a lot,
Mhm.
more about their culture. Because I mean,
Yeah.
it's fascinating, because I mean, if you never been anywhere but where you're from, then it's kind of fascinating to know how other people live. We talked to a friend from Jamaica there that talked about politics a lot. Was talking about you guys got it made there compared to what we were dealing with, and so that's the thing is like people were so blinded to what's going on around the world because they're so worried about what's going on in their backyard, and then sometimes you realize, well, maybe I don't have it so bad.
Yeah. And honestly, what I can honestly say about this though is we probably never would have gotten into this had COVID not hit. So
True.
that's
So
that's kind of like one of those things that became cool. We decided to do this so people could listen in and be there with us, and um, we could be there with people when it was lonesome. And now it's one of those things where they're even with things getting stepped back up, this has become my full-time job here at the station. So I
right.
absolutely enjoy it and I love it. And now I get to meet new fans from TWRP and more fans from VOP, and it's just really cool to interact and get to know everybody. But back to what we were talking about though was the immunizations and stuff. Um, I have mixed feelings on that. I really want to get into it on a truly uncensored show. So I mean, if you ever are interested in coming in on that, because
Yeah,
that's where I start ranting. That's where you know how bad this works.
yeah, yeah. Well,
You
I mean,
know this is
you
the
know,
spot that puts me off.
you moved from a state that was like, I'm sorry, but the governor of that state is about the dumbest damn person on earth right now. But
Okay, now I have the worst, dumbest governor. You got to remember.
yeah, well, that is true. Yeah, the one you have now isn't too much better, but
My mom and I were sitting there comparing governors the other day on the phone because we were bored. We're like, okay, so you got him. Oh, no, you got him. Oh, yeah. So this is bad. Okay, we got two Democrats that don't know how to run a hole in the ground. So, it's okay. See, now you got me started. Now you got me started. Damn it, Impact. You got one down here, pretty boy down here is what I call him, that wants to give millions of dollars away for a vax. You got dumbass up there that doesn't know how to run a damn state. We gotta go back to this phase. Oh, we gotta go back to this phase. Come on, pull the head out of your ass. Quit being stupid. You guys know damn good and well what you're doing. You're sitting here trying to bribe everybody to get their shots. Oh my God, here I go. Whoo. Lord have mercy. Here we go. And yet you guys want all this respect. They're getting the respect of the people that want all the freebies. So when those freebies are gone, then what? Then
you,
what? What do you have
you know what?
left? You have absolutely nothing left. Once those freebies are gone, they're gone. And you have nothing left.
What's
You're
so
lucky
crazy
that you're
is
coming out with your life.
what's so crazy. It's like when Caitlyn Jenner talking about running. Everybody kind of laughed at it, but I'm sitting there thinking, well, I mean, hell, it can't be no worse than what's there. So,
My dog is about to run. My dog is about to
oh
run for
my
governor,
god,
and I'm going to vote her in. And she's even going to get people back into shape like they need to be. Like, for God's sake, how can you destroy a state and sit there and sleep at night thinking that this is okay? They wonder why people are going nuts. Oh, we're going to go back into lockdown. Just sit there like a good little girl and good little boy, and we're going to do this. No, no, no. Fuck you.
right?
Fuck that. No. Sorry. Off my little tangent. Let me get off my soapbox real quick so I can come
I
back
was
and
actually trying to
run with
find
you.
out where I had read somewhere where I thought there was a black gentleman that was going to run against him out there. So,
Yes, yes. I just seen that, and
and
I
man,
feel the same.
I was reading over some of his stuff, and I'm just like, dude, if he don't win, then there's definitely something fixed out there in California.
They have not had a Republican since the
Reagan.
late '80s, early '90s.
I think
Yeah.
Reagan was actually well, he was a senator there, I believe. So
Yeah, it's just one of those things. And
was Arnold a Democrat? I couldn't remember.
I thought Arnold Schwarzenegger was a Republican. Let me ask him,
Was
is
he?
he
Yeah.
Republican or Democrat? He was Republican.
Okay, so that's
Okay,
probably the
so
last one they've had since.
I mean, hasta la vista is what he needs to be coming in here telling people. Hasta la vista, baby.
I mean, my thing is like I've told somebody before. It's like you talk about the left and the right and all this stuff, and I said when you talk about that stuff, I always tell people, I say, well, imagine yourself on an airplane. So do you want the left wing to work or the right wing to work? And they're just like, I want both wings to work. I said,
Exactly.
exactly. You want both wings to work together so the damn plane flies. I mean,
Exactly.
uh, but you can't
Exactly.
get that. You can't get these damn people to work. And that's the thing is, if you find out that I don't care what side of the fence you're on, if you find out your representative is not working together with the other people to get things right for you and American people, then get them the hell out of there. I don't care what race they're running for, Democrat, Republican, Liberal. I don't care. I don't care what they're running for. They need to get the hell out.
Yep.
I mean, because that's the whole thing. Is why you know, and don't get me wrong. If you had the 500 and some odd people in Congress being all Republican or all Democrat, it would not be good either way. I mean, you need that pushback from one side or the other with certain things, or it would would be a kind of screwed up world. But
Well, my whole thing is everything's broken and it needs to be fixed.
It
And
does exactly
if one of them doesn't want to sit there and get on the bandwagon to help fix it, then what are we accomplishing? We're
nothing,
absolutely accomplishing
nothing.
nothing.
And it's
Exactly.
just it's just like the 58 Democrat representatives that left the state of Texas throughout the week and went to hide out in freaking Capitol in Washington because they didn't want to vote on a bipartisan voting deal. I mean, uh, you know, it was to kill 24-hour voting polls, which should not be legal anyway, because there's you got to have a cutoff to count votes. I mean, you can't just be there. You know, you can have them, you can have them there counting, but to open to vote 24 hours is no. We don't know. That's just yeah. That does not need to be a thing. And I'm the mail-in voting thing kind of kills me too, is because I know for a fact that a lot of people um, that that I'm friends with actually had well, one of my good friends actually had a mail order ballot sent to his house in his mother's name that has been dead for 4 years. So if that doesn't tell you something's wrong, then I don't know what does. Truly, I think you lost us again on your mic.
Okay.
Yeah, well, here and go. Oh,
All the technical difficulties. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys.
we should have named our show that. Technical difficulties. I don't know if anybody would be watching it though. They
I
would think
mean,
we
it's
were.
almost. Oh, there we
They would
go.
think we were not on.
There we
Uh,
go. I have the volume too low and it wasn't picking up. So that might
gotcha.
make sense. So I'm sitting here playing with everything and then all of a sudden I turn my volume up and then I see my green thing go up and I'm like, "Oh, okay, well that explains it."
Yeah.
But no, I completely agree. I completely agree with that. Um it's just one of those things that
But at some point, we got to stop. We got to stop listening to media and news stories and start thinking for ourselves and put a little common sense thinking to some of this. I mean, that's where we're missing out. It's like I'll read a story sometimes and I'll let it resonate for a little bit, and I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? That don't make no fucking sense.
yeah, yeah,
But
it does
you
make
got people. You got people that doesn't. We're in a fast living world where people are so want to get through everything so fast, and why I do not know, but they want to get through dinner fast, or work fast, or whatever it may be. But they read these stories like too fast, and they don't care about doing any research on it because they don't have the time. They don't want to take the time to research anything. But I think everybody should take a little time to research a lot of that stuff for themselves and make their own opinions about it, and not listen to someone telling you what your opinion should be.
yep, I hate that. And that's one thing. I'm like, I am at free liberty to decide what I believe and what I don't believe. And
Yeah.
that's
And
where
what
people
and so what like the guy or not, but Trump, I just read where he had won his first case over the big tech media case that he had. So
yes,
it's moving forward. So, and I think that's a good thing. Uh, you know,
yes,
I think that the media needs to be held reliable on the shit that they pour out there. Um, you know, I had a friend of mine here locally met a news anchor that we both grew up watching, and he said he asked her about what she thought about the news now, and she said she would not be able to do it because that's not how journalism is supposed to be. Journalism is you report the news whether you agree with the news or not.
yep, yep. And
So
I
now it's
complete
got to where they twist it into their own way of opinionated thinking, and then put it out there as news, and it's not news. That's your opinion.
right,
So to me, there's not any news stations anymore. They're all opinionated stations.
right. Yep, I completely agree. There's no such thing. Like, there's no Democrat, there's no Republican, there's no um, independent news station anymore. It's all
Right.
everybody's out for blood. And
I mean, even your local stations have gotten like that. If you
yep,
watch a lot of the local stuff, it's like that too, depending
yes,
on where you
definitely,
live. You know, like you're
definitely.
not gonna. Are you gonna? Do you think you're gonna hear where what's their Lightfoot that's in Chicago? You think you're gonna hear where they had 36 murders a night? Oh hell no, because it makes her look bad.
I mean, it doesn't take much, but
Exactly.
anyway, next topic. Let's not even go down that route right now on Chicago because I have so much to say about her and how she's running her city. And to me, that is like, that's not even Detroit, man. That's
Right.
Gotham. That's Gotham
But
City,
to
where
me,
all the
these people.
nutcases are.
Yeah, but to me, these people that are citizens of this state or this town cannot be putting her in charge if they care anything about their town. I
Right.
mean, I don't understand that. I mean, there's no way in hell that's happening. So there's definitely some, and I think that's one of the reasons why they didn't want any of this voter frauds crap coming out because
Yep.
it's going to trickle down to your local people.
Yep. It's ridiculous. Uh, I just I don't understand how
So
the mayors and governors and everybody think this is okay to do what they've been doing. They think it's okay and they're like, "Oh, well, as long as, we're not getting hurt, who cares if anybody else gets hurt?" That's what it reminds me of. They're like, "Who cares as long as it's not us?"
well, I mean, at least just like I caught a thing a while back and they actually fixed it, but they were trying to say it was a glitch. I said, no, it wasn't. Y'all knew
Yeah,
what y'all were doing.
okay.
But whenever AOC was running for New York, I was kind of keep track of that because I thought, man, she with who she had up against her, I thought for sure she was going to go down. But it was like 4% of the voting or some small number like that. I know it was less than 10% of the voting was in, and they already announced her the winner. It was like,
That's
yeah,
okay.
how
That's
was
how
that possible?
that's exactly how it went with the governor up in Washington State.
Yeah,
1 minute after the polls closed, "Oh, we have our governor. He's back." Dude, it was not even a full minute afterwards, and he's already governor. Get out of here.
yeah,
You didn't count
yeah.
all
They didn't
those
even have
votes.
time. Yeah, they
You
didn't have time
guys
to count.
sat on, you know what? If anybody's listening in Washington State that did this voting, you guys sat on your lazy asses. You didn't do a damn thing about it. And you guys sat there and let him rig
Well, this
that
is
up. And
this
that's
is
not
this
good.
is where the protesting needs to be done. With stuff like that.
Yes. Yes. I completely agree. But you're going to sit there and you're going to let people think that you won by the fact that you were reelected within less than a minute? No, that's not how it happens. That's
And guess
not
what?
how it
And
happens.
guess what? You're still a loser in everybody in your state's eyes. So congratulations.
I mean, he is, and everybody wanted him gone for so long, and he's still there. And I'm like, because not enough
Yeah.
people,
So
or
that should tell you
not enough
everything
people
you
know
need
that
to
they
know.
have to come together. Yep, that
That,
tells you everything, everything. And you're sitting there and you're like, so where's the states where, you know, things are a little bit better? Okay, well, you got Florida now, you got Texas, you got a couple other states in there, but the fact of the matter is I just don't ever think this will be better at all.
right.
I don't see this foreseeing this getting any better.
Yeah. Well, until we hope. So the thing that I do love about what's going on with the Texas thing, where although I think there was 58 Democrats left for that, to keep from having to vote on that, was it actually passed anyway. So congratulations, they just left you out.
Right?
So and the governor put out a statement saying that what they did was illegal, and when they step back on these grounds, they're getting arrested and they're getting taken back, and they're going to do what they're supposed to do, what their elected officials paid them. The people that elected them, are paying them to do. He said they're going to go back and they're going to do what they're supposed to do. So I think that's awesome. I think that that's where the accountability has to start is holding those people accountable for their actions. So if you're not accountable for your actions, then it trickles down, and we all know that. I mean, we've been seeing it for many years. So, um, and I don't like to get too political, but I will. I just like calling out the bullshit when I see it. So,
Yeah. I think we all do over here at the VOP. It seems like that's what everybody does. And everybody has a different viewpoint, so we don't sit there and discriminate against that. I
Well,
think
right.
it's
I mean,
amazing that we can all sit here and say something.
so the craziest thing is if you step back and it's like you can take religion for an example. Politics is similar. If you take religion and you hear Church of Christ, Catholic or Baptist or Presbyterian, whatever they are, you'll hear different views on what they believe in. But guess what? At the end of it, they're all going to say that they believe that Jesus, God sent Jesus down on the cross for their sins. They all believe that. So, in other words, you're out going to the church for one little thing that they believe in when they all have the same end game.
Right.
And I think politics is similar to where all these people have these different you know opinions about stuff, and they don't have the same end game. That's the problem. Like with politics, everybody should have the same end game, which is taking care of the people of the United States of America, which is
I
not being done.
completely agree. Yep, I completely agree.
A prime example was, I think the biggest thing like people don't understand with immigration and stuff, that's a big thing too. It is, for one, everything going on here lately is there's a virus, outbreak, and you're trying to let people over. Okay, that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Why would you want to bring more people over here you know nothing about, unless you're going to vaccinate them at the border, which that's probably what they're doing, to make sure they get those vaccination numbers up. Uh, but you do stuff like that, and then you bringing people in, to their country, or taking care of people that shouldn't be taken care of, when your own people, not just your own people that fought for this fucking country, are out here living in a damn box on the side of the street, because those are the people you need to be taking care of, because they've already sacrificed for this country. So this country needs to give back to their ass.
Right. Yep.
So
I agree.
until we don't need to take in anybody else until we can take. So this is the thing. If you go right now and you have 5 kids, single parent, barely keeping them fed, do you think a foster care is going to give you another kid? Man, fuck no. So why the hell, if you can't take care of your own people, are you thinking that we should take care of somebody else?
Yep, I completely agree. And that's what they do. The money goes elsewhere, and that's one thing that we've learned,
Well, because
and
it's all about, hey, if I get these people in here legally, they have a right to vote. Then they're going to vote for us. I'm just like, it's all about greed. It's greed.
yeah, and that's the unfortunate part. It's very unfortunate. Um,
And it becomes like anything else. It's just like, I've seen it in the medical field where nurses, a majority of your nurses nowadays are doing it for money. They don't have any you know uh, notion to for the care side of it. They just want to get paid.
yep, and it's sad. It's unfortunate, and that's something that you have to like really look at, and it's heartbreaking to see all that.
Yeah,
Um, I do kind of want to take a little flip and twist and a topic if you are okay with that.
sure.
Because I need to get my blood pressure down from politics talk. As you guys have known, since 2008, Britney Spears has been under conservatorship of her father, Jamie Spears. I had a show about this a couple weeks ago talking about this conservatorship right after Britney had spoke in court about how she wants to be free of it and how things are going there. And yesterday was a big, big win for Britney. She now has her own legal representation that she was able to choose for herself. First time since 2008. So for the first time in 2000 or 2000 years, 13 years, Britney finally got to decide who is going to help her now. And there her other lawyer stepped down. He resigned, stepped down. Her dad's trying to get out of it on his end, saying this has never happened. And now Brittany is turning around and she's taking steps to get her life back. And we discussed everything about how they were asking me last time how I felt about all this. And I feel that if she is capable enough to go to court and stand up like that, work that many hours and everything, I feel she is good to go. How do you feel about that impact?
Yeah, it's one it's one of those things where I don't follow this story that much, but I do know that what happened initially was because she went through that breakdown and everything years
Mhm.
ago, which we're all human. We break down. That's what happens, especially when you have somebody that's been in the spotlight since they were in their teenage years. Um, you know, for all that time, and it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure on a young kid. Actually, it's a lot of pressure on an adult, much less a young kid. So for again, you're talking about greed. It's what it all boils down to here is greed, uh, and it's sad that a family member would do that to another family member. But this is kind of how uh, it's just kind of how the world is right now, and it's really sad to know that we're not like I said, we're not out trying to do the right things for each other and for ourselves. So I'm glad she's gotten you know at least that much going for her. So that's a good step in the right direction, I think. So I think your mic went out again there.
Hold on. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
Hello, hello. Okay, I accidentally
yeah.
hit my mic up.
Oh wow.
Okay, there we go. Jeez, oh my gosh, talk about difficulties on this thing
uh,
today. But
but yeah,
no,
but with that, I think that it's just a sad situation because it's going to create it's already created a bad relationship between a father and a daughter. So I mean, it's just going to get worse. And once it's all over with, he's going to have disdain because I think he's going to lose for one. So there's going to
yes,
be disdain. There's going to be disdain there from his side because he's not able to mooch off of what she's built. Uh,
yes,
and I think that's a sad. So this is my thing. So if my kid went on to be an NFL player, did his thing. Yes, I expect him to be whatever he wants to be and do whatever he wants to do. But I don't expect him to come out and give me $30 million because I'm not the one playing football. Yes, I'm his parent, and if he wants to do stuff to take, for me, like, hey, I bought you a new truck. Okay, great. I'm not gonna say anything. That's his money, and he can do what he wants to with
right.
it. And I think that's the thing that it's kind of like it's her money, but she hasn't been able to do what she wants to with it. So so
Well,
it's
see, since her dad is conservator, he gets $16,000 a month to do this.
yeah.
He doesn't have to work. And like I watched the documentary the other day on Hulu, Framing Britney Spears. And they were sitting there talking about how her dad was an alcoholic and never really held a job. And then Britney's making all this money, and then holy crap,
Hmm.
dollar signs, okay, 16,000 a month.
But
And
I
I
think
mean, to
right,
me, that's greed,
yeah, it
like
is,
you
and
said.
to me that's what I'm saying is like if you're a good parent to your kids, they're going to take care of you. That's just the way. That's
Right.
what love for your parents is about. Like if I became rich or whatever, you know. First thing I would do is buy my mom something nice because I mean she sacrificed working three jobs to raise three kids by herself. So I mean, I know the sacrifices that she made to get to where she is, and and if I got a chance to make that better for her, on this side of the pond, then I would be glad to do that.
Right.
And I think Brittany would have done the same thing if he just left it the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Brittany would have probably been glad to take care of him or whatever.
I mean, sit there and look at it. Look at all these celebrities that have had mental breakdowns that haven't had to go
Right.
through this. She's, like you said, she's human. And the part that really gets me is the fact that they don't let her act as though she is a human. They're looking at her as their cash cow. They're looking at her as their meal ticket.
Hmm.
And why would you want to even mess with that? Oh yes, we need to keep her heavily medicated and everything else. I don't think she deserves that.
Excuse
She
me.
was
Yeah.
doing great. My thing is, and people disagree with me, and I don't care. Where I honestly started seeing the decline is when she got with her ex-husband, the
Right.
second one with the kids, the federal
Right.
one. That's where I started seeing her go downhill all those years. And then when he held her kids from her, that's when she shaved her head. That's when she had a
Hmm.
breakdown. I would too.
Yeah,
Any mother would.
yeah. It's like it's gonna be one of those strange Hollywood stories, unfortunately. But the thing with a lot of that is, you know, when you're in a celebrity status, it's a mindset to maintain that. You want to maintain that, and you're afraid if you don't stay relevant, you'll lose it.
Right.
Which, you know, if you look back, I'm going to use a prime example of John Travolta. He was big in the '70s with Grease and movies like that. But if you think in the '80s, man, he kind of like went off. Like you didn't see much of John Travolta. Uh, you
Right.
know, so when he come back in the '90s, he did Broken Arrow, Face Off, a couple of big movies like that, and then he was like right back into being Pulp Fiction and all that type of stuff. So he was back into being a big time actor, but he took about 10 years off. I mean he wasn't off, but he wasn't in big time roles. So
Right.
I I think you have to have that break somewhere. Uh,
Yes.
and you can't be afraid to lose your so-called spot, you know, in the industry because you've already built a name, and people know who you are. So you can take that time and be like, look, I got to take time to myself. And if they don't understand that, then I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, that's just for your personal health and mentality, you have to take breaks. You can't be just because you burn out.
Let me say this to fans of anybody out there. I don't care who you're a fan of. I don't care if it's the man on the moon. I don't care if it's the guy that invented the chocolate bar. Okay. They're human too, and they need to have rest too. They can't be
Right,
pleasing everybody every single day. There has to come a day of rest to where they don't lose their sanity.
right.
And
And
that's
that
what her dad is not doing for her, though, for her fans. Her fans want her there. So her dad's making her push all these crazy ass hours. And the girl needs a break. She needs a break. Just because you're famous, I understand working hard. Okay, I get that. But the fact of the matter is they're human and everything that they do though is in the spotlight. And that's one thing that would irritate the hell out of me. I could never be in a spotlight like that because I
right.
don't want that
You have to you have
affecting
to
my
under
mentality.
you have to understand your limitations. I mean,
Yes.
you you know, that's just like right now. If somebody were to come to me and say, "Hey, man, I'll give you $1,000 to come wrestle at this show," my mind would be like, "Hell yeah, let's do it." But I know better. I know my body can't do that anymore. I mean,
Right.
I'm 45 and I'm not 25 anymore, and I can't do those things. I mean, I could. Don't get me wrong. I probably could. I may not. I might regret it for about 3 months after, but but
Right.
it's like you have to know, hey, your health goes first. I mean, you know, I loved wrestling, and it's always going to be a big part of my life. But I just, you just got to realize there's people, in their 50s and 60s that I know are still doing it, and I'm gonna hate to see what they look like when they quit because
Ric
I know
Flair.
when I stopped, man, I was man. It took me 3 months to be vertical because
Right.
it was just so your body takes so much abuse from that, and it's hard to get everything back to where working like it's supposed to. So
Right. Well, the one that I'm thinking of when you said, 50, 60, 70 years old, I'm thinking instantly Ric Flair.
yeah. Well, I mean, unfortunately, Rick doesn't take many bumps anymore, so he's
He
just there
takes a
for
lot
pretty
of
much a
bumps with
name.
those shot glasses, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's Rick. So,
I mean, it's and oh, who was the other one that we just seen on AEW or was it NXT? I don't know. It was one of those shitty shows. Um, God bless. I don't even know the difference between the two anymore, and I watch it weekly.
yeah.
I come out here with them, and I'll pop in to go see who's out here weekly with them,
So I don't
and
I don't
jump
know.
on and say hi.
So was it Arn Anderson?
Him, thank you, Arn Anderson.
Yeah, because I was gonna say
I've seen him.
I seen him on I think it was what's the AEW? Yeah,
It's AEW. Hold
yeah.
on, let me ask the
I think
expert
I
over
seen
here.
him doing something on there, and then Aleister Black or Malachi Black or whatever he's called now came out.
Milwaukee Black or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what his name is. I don't even know why he thought it would be cute to change his name because
Well, I
I
mean,
know
he
they're
has
never
to.
going to hear
I
my
mean,
show, but I know they might hear technical work rate. So, like they could pass this message along from me to him. You're not
you
cool, dude.
know.
My dog has more charisma in her
uh,
pinky toe. I'm just saying you're a horrible wrestler. You're a horrible actor. My dog has all the talent in the world compared to you. And they called me in and I helped break down these matches with them. And now I'm starting to learn who half these people are now, like these new ones, like that No Tits McGee. They call her Alberto Del Rio. Um oh, Raquel Gonzalez.
I have no idea. Like I
Okay,
said, I don't
so
watch it much anymore.
this
So.
chick is built like a dude, no tits. And like I mean, come on, if you're gonna be a wrestler, if you're gonna be a woman wrestler, get some boobies in there so we at least know.
Well,
But
well, I mean, it's like that's kind of where I don't kind of agree with that mainly because I think if you have great in ring skills, it shouldn't matter if
she
what
doesn't
you're.
though.
Well, I mean, then that's a problem. But I'm just saying like that's usually what they do to you, though. If you're just a mediocre wrestler, they pay for you to go out and get these breast enhancements and all this shit just so you at least have something they
Boobs to
can
work with.
sell.
Yeah.
They can't sell you if you don't have any assets to sell. Um,
No
so,
pun
so
intended. No
yeah,
assets.
yeah,
Sorry.
uh,
Yes, they do get butt implants too, people.
yeah,
They try to pull the Kim Kardashian with that booty bump. Uh,
yeah. But you
sorry,
got
I
some
had
of
to.
these people that just take that stuff. Like I don't know if you've seen Dana Brooke, but I did not know who she. Like I haven't watched wrestling in a while, but I had to flip through the other night and I
Yes.
seen her on there, and I'm like, that is not Dana Brooke. And they were like, and I kept like looking. I'm like, they don't even look like her. Like I don't
The,
know what the hell she's done, but like you know, way
I'll
too
have to
much work.
look.
Way
I'll
too
have to
much work.
look.
I'm just going to tell you that because
Before
man,
when she
she
was
does
doing it,
not
she
look
was
the same.
ripped. Yep,
She
she
doesn't.
was
She
ripped.
does. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was her face. Like she done a lot of plastic surgery or something. It's just
Okay,
like
I'm going to
it don't
look right
even look
now.
like her.
I'm going to look right now. Now you got me curious to see what she looks like now.
Well, I mean, she doesn't look like what I remember. That's for damn sure. So,
I mean, look at Paige. Paige doesn't even look like Paige anymore with all the plastic
so
surgery
I
she's
haven't
had
seen
too.
her. I haven't seen her in a while. So,
I'll get a picture and send it to you. Like I was
yeah,
so confused about that being Paige.
yeah. I haven't
Whoa,
seen.
Dana Brooks looks like a cross between Natalia and the Hulk.
Yeah, yeah. So she's just yeah.
Sorry, if you guys, huh? Of course, NC likes her. He likes anybody
Yeah.
that I can't stand.
Last
Anybody.
time I say last time I see Paige was in a video. We won't mention which one that was, but
Bounty. Wow. Let's see. Like she changed her face completely and she doesn't even look like her anymore. And it breaks my heart because I loved Paige. I thought she was absolutely beautiful.
she was like there was nothing wrong with her to begin with. So I don't know. Like I think she was one of those prime examples of going through a mental breakdown, and that's
Yes.
what she did. That's
Yes.
what she had to do to make her feel good about herself again. And ain't good for you if that's what you have to do. Then whatever. But
There you
uh,
go. I just
you
sent it to
were
you.
you were fine before, so she did the lip thing. That's what like after that I'm just like yeah, I can't watch you anymore.
She's done like a lip thing, a nose thing.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I sent
yeah.
it to your Facebook if you have access to your Facebook real quick to look at that. That's what she looks like now, and it's just disheartening to me that she would even change herself because I thought she was gorgeous the way she was. I love Paige.
So which Facebook did you send
You're one that never gets banned.
to? Which is crazy because you think it would get banned from the name, but
You would, yeah, exactly. They would be like, "Excuse me, that's derogatory," and then I'd be just sitting there laughing, going, "Here we go again." But that's her
oh
now.
wow,
Hmm.
yeah, she
And
looks like
see,
she's a fucking dark haired Courtney Love or some shit.
yeah, she really went downhill, and it was really, really sad because
Man,
like I said, I love Paige. I used to love
oh
when she
yeah,
would come out,
she was
and,
awesome.
and she would yell, "This is my house," and then I get all excited
I
and go, "Yeah, it is."
mean,
And so, if any TWRP fans are in here, which I don't know if you are right now listening or not, but I used to be a Smart Mark. before
Yeah.
casual. I was
So
between
who
a
is
Sparky and a Marky.
so who is NC's like favorites right now in the women's division? I guess I should
Who's
ask. So.
NC's favorites in the women's division right now? Well, he likes Dana Brooke. He likes anybody that I hate. So he likes. Oh, I love Scarlett. Scarlett, yeah.
Eh, just another pretty face.
Liv Morgan. Um. Oh, and for the record, guys, don't let him fool you. But I heard him talking the other night on the phone. He loves Natalia.
Wow.
I don't know if you could hear him, but he's ranting about how he does not like Natalia. I always have to tease him about it because I'm a huge Natalia fan.
So, I'm probably going to have an unpopular opinion about that, but I don't know why. I guess like some these people just do things a certain way that I don't know. I just kind of can relate to, I guess. But like Rhea Ripley's one of those like female wrestlers that I could just relate to for some reason. I don't know why. Um, but I guess like from anybody newer that I've seen, I think that she's probably got uh, a lot of potential to be a bigger star than what she already is. But
Rhea Ripley scares me.
maybe that's why I like her. I don't know.
I don't know. The fact that she is built out.
But it's just I think it's just like because Mandy Rose is like an obvious choice for most men.
I
I think
can't stand her, but
I
NC
think that would
likes
be like
her.
yeah, I think that would be like
Mandy.
a most. So one of my other favorites, which she's not there right now, was Lacey Evans. I love Lacey
Oh my God. That's another one that he loves. Like, I can't stand her either. Lacey Evans.
Evans.
Huh? Yeah, he says she's very talented.
Yeah,
So I don't know what
because
kind
she
of
plays
heart
her
she's
part
got
just so
on
well.
NC over here, but she's got his heart somewhere in there.
Yeah, and then another one that I like right now is Tony Storm. I don't know
Tony
if anybody.
Storm.
Yeah, I like Tony Storm.
Duet. Yeah, okay. So you guys seem to be on the same page, except for him. He doesn't like Rhea Ripley. You guys seem to be on the same page with the wrestlers.
Yeah.
He said she has a little bit of talent, just doesn't know how to act very well right now. And neither does Charlotte Flair, though. I mean, did you see my Twitter post a few weeks
I think
ago?
I
Charlotte's
think
sitting there trying to curb stomp her, and she's missing, and Rhea's sitting there going, oh, oh, like convulsing, like she's actually getting kicked.
mm,
And I'm like,
oh
what
yeah.
did I just
I
watch?
think one of my like least favorite like people as far as women wrestlers goes has always been Carmella. I just never like it. Just never. She just never done anything.
Carmella is useless.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
oh, he likes her. I know.
Give me the Lita days back any day. I'll take that shit over
Yes,
what they're doing now. But
we were just talking about bringing the Attitude Era back. If we could bring the Attitude Era back, would we? And we all agreed that
well,
we
I
would.
mean, the thing is you have women that could push it right now too. Because I mean, you have Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks and people like that
Oh,
on your
don't say those
roster.
names around here. Don't say those names in
What?
this house. Don't say Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks around here. Nope.
I mean, and you have, I mean, I think one of the, and I'm probably going to get heat for this too, but I think one of the most talented people right now is Alexa Bliss because she's able to pull
Yeah.
off multiple personalities.
Yes.
And it's just like, I mean, and I think that's maybe what she's trying to do to show off a little bit of her acting skills because I think maybe that's what she's trying to lean toward right now. But
She is very creative.
yeah,
Very,
so,
very creative, very talented. I can't even argue with that because, like, when I seen her do her possessed role, I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's really convincing."
yeah.
And then she turned
And,
around
and, and
and she had her sweet little sweet role, and then she's had her Harley Quinn role, and I'm just like,
mhm.
and I hated her
she,
at one time, and
she
I seen how she can act and get me to actually follow along.
she actually reminds me of AJ Lee a little. Because AJ Lee had those,
Yes,
gimmicks to where she would, she could really pull off that psychotic gimmick, and
yes.
and then she could pull off the girl next door too. So it was,
I'm gonna have to ask
like,
NC about that one. I'm gonna have to
yeah,
ask them about that.
like Shayna Blazer's one that I really don't care for either. I've just never, I don't know.
Don't even know who that
I
is.
think like as far as like work wise, she's great. I just don't think she's got real great mic skills or anything like that. So
Most don't.
and then like one of my favorites like when they first got there was Nikki Cross, but now they're just making her look like a damn fool. So
Nikki Cross. I'm trying to think of which one that is.
It's the little screaming one that would come out with Alexa Bliss.
Oh, the little angry midget. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like when
Um,
she first got there, was in that little insanity group. I think that fit her like really well, and then once that kind of broke away, I think they just kind of lost touch with her character,
yes.
and it's kind of went downhill because now she's doing some kind of hurricane, uh, female hurricane spinoff bullshit. So, or almost reminds me of the Molly Holly superhero gimmick.
Yeah, they oh, who else is there? Um
I'll tell you another one I like too, and it's going to be kind of probably it may be unpopular too, but Ember Moon. I like Ember Moon. I
Ember
think
Moon.
it's yeah, with her like her ability just from her size is just amazing to me. So
And see, what do you feel about Ember Moon?
I think she sucks.
Okay, he thinks
he
she
thinks
sucks.
she sucks.
Oh, you can hear him. Okay, good. Because my mic
uh,
wasn't moving. They can hear you and they're laughing. Thank you. He's
it
got
can't be worse than Candice LeRae. Come on, man.
what about Candace LeRae?
Grandma Ray sucks.
He said
Yep,
Grandma
I
LeRae
agree.
sucks. Oh, okay, you can hear him. Okay,
Uh,
so apparently my mic is picking up everything. So you're gonna probably hear snoring, and that's not me, that's my dog. She's right behind me, like that. So um we've got about 10 minutes left in the show, guys. We haven't had much comment interaction today at all. So if you guys are in the comments and there's something you want to have us talk about just for the last few minutes of the show, please feel free to drop it in the comments and
so
let's see what we
so
could do.
before I wanted to touch base on this story real quick. I don't know if you've seen where the lightning strike took out the George Floyd mural.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
god! You know, however you feel about the situation, man, that was just like to me that was just a higher power at work. I'm sorry to say, but
Yes. That was something because they were sitting there and I thought it was like a joke. I was like, the lightning hitting a wall like that, taking it out, like, what's going on here? And then when they showed me pictures, I was like, okay, this isn't a joke. That is insane. So something there has to be that has to be like a sign from somewhere, right? Like,
I mean, yeah, I mean, like I tell people, man, it's not that I don't. It's not that I don't think what happened to him was bad. I mean, it was unjustified. I mean, the guy should not have died. But for you to worship that guy is another whole story, man. You can't put a guy on a pedestal that don't belong there. Sorry, I mean it doesn't work that way.
right.
I mean, you know, I got in an argument actually on Facebook about it when I made a comment about it, and some guy's been arguing with me about it, and I said, I said so, he's asked me, uh, you know, I told him, I said, well, it's kind of a justice that happened because it's not, justice from above is what I said. And he said, how do you figure? And I said, well, it didn't belong there to begin with. And he said, so did we? He asked me, so did we forget who killed who? And I said no, but you also don't see a mural of that cop anywhere, do you? I mean, ain't nobody celebrating what
Right.
he did. Ain't nobody celebrating what he did. What he did was wrong, and then I mean, he's gonna pay the price for it. I mean, but that does not give you the right to go out and put, you know, that guy on a pedestal that where he shouldn't be. I mean, it's always a thing
It's
like this that like comes about, and it's always a family member that comes along and says, "Hey, that's we don't want that," and people do it anyway. So that's another thing about respecting other people's wishes. You're not family. So if that family says, "Hey, don't do this," then damn, don't do it. I mean,
definitely they don't respect what the family's asking and
right.
what the family wants. And you
And I
see
don't
that
remember if it
time
was Floyd, but
right.
it was one of the ones that happened in that category. I remember the family saying, "We don't want anybody, to, you know, you know, make a spectacle of his life because that's not what he was about." And I agree with that. Like if you don't, like I said, that's your family. That was your family member, and that should be your wish, and we should respect that. But you know, it was. So I asked the guy. you know, about all this stuff. And I said, hey, do you know? I said, do you know who? I don't really know how to pronounce his name. I can't remember, but it was I think it's Guion Bluford. Um, I asked him. I said, you know who that is? And he's like, no, and I don't need to. And I said, well, you ought to because he was the first black astronaut. I said, so I mean, if you want to put somebody in a role to be looked up to and respected, then maybe you should start there.
Yep,
you know,
that's
you know,
crazy.
yeah. I mean, they, putting criminals on pedestals they don't belong is just ridiculous. And I don't care if it's Charles Manson or whoever. I mean, I don't think any of that's that stuff is if there was a mural of that somewhere, I would want to spray paint over that too because we should not be celebrating somebody that did stupid shit. I mean,
No, it just, I'll never understand it. Never, never, never.
well, it's
Yeah,
like we're in a world where the media tells them, "Hey, this is cool," and everybody's like, "Oh, that must be cool."
yeah, probably not.
um,
Yeah, probably not. And that's the unfortunate part,
yeah,
the media tells you to jump and everybody's like how high, and
right.
that's not who we should be listening to. We should not be listening to the media right now.
Yeah.
We
And I
should be
guess the
listening.
thing is, I don't know, is that today? Like, is so I remember seeing something about a non-binary day or something, and I think that maybe either today or tomorrow. But I thought that was just like the biggest crap I've ever heard too. It's, you have these gay pride moments, and nobody cares about that shit, but the people put it on. Nobody else cares. I mean, we
It,
we don't care what you do in your bedroom or what you do to your body. It's your body. It's your bedroom. I don't. Nobody gives a fuck. So
your body, your bedroom, your choice.
yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, the only people that care about that is the people pushing the narrative. Nobody else cares.
I did honestly, and I know this sounds horrible, but I didn't even know what that was until I seen something about it
Well,
on
nobody knew what it
the
was because nobody, it wasn't they try to make those things that are I guess what would they call it? A defect? I guess is what I heard somebody say. It was like a defect, which is kind of a strong word to use, uh, but anyway, people that get bullied for those certain things or whatever, they're trying to make that normal so they don't get bullied. Which instead of facing up to, hey, you know what? If if my son, which I'm not afraid to say it on here, he was had those mindset that he wanted to be a woman at one time too, and then he realized what it took to be a woman, and he said, okay, maybe I don't, but
right.
but 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 it's like I didn't worry about him. You know why? Because I taught him how to fight, and I taught him how to protect himself. So if you want to go out and be whatever you want to be, just learn a way to protect yourself so bullies don't bully you. I mean, that's how you stop bullies. You whip their ass. So
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's like what we always tried to tell people. There's nothing wrong with being who you want to be or anything. Just because I don't understand some things,
and
doesn't mean
I'll
anything. Come talk to me. Come talk to me about it.
right.
Explain yourself, explain your side, not yourself, but explain your
It
side. Help me
it
see
all
what.
goes yeah, it all goes back to what we were saying earlier. That's what's great about being in a free country. So
Yeah.
so
And just because I don't
you're
understand
free to
something,
do what you want to do.
I want to understand, and that's what I've always told people since we started doing this. And you were always there. If I don't understand a
Right.
point of view, explain it to me so I can understand your point and we could talk about it and see where we're going from there. I'm not going
I
to
think
sit there and break somebody down
I think
because
my
of their
I
opinion.
think my biggest problem with it all is like they're normalizing it when it's actually a mental disorder, and we should not be normalizing and make to me that's bullying someone for making it a public thing to where it's on like every news channel because now they're in a spotlight and going to get bullied more because you're putting it out there for where people don't agree with it or whatever. You can't make anything acceptable. Um,
Right.
you know, you can't change people's mindset about things that they already are dead set on. And to do that is just creating more of a headache and heartache for the person you know trying to be who or trying to figure out who they want to be because I think that's the biggest part of right a lot of that stuff is them trying to figure out who they want to be.
Right. Nope, I agree. I completely agree.
And there's no, I mean, there's no hate about it. I don't hate anybody. That's the thing about me. I don't hate anybody. I may not agree with you, but you know what? If you were at a, like I go to a lot of heavy metal shows, and if I seen you at a heavy metal show, and you got, you pull, you run around in a beta suit, and you got a penis and a set of tits. Oh well, that's you, man. That's good for you. Rock on, but it's like I'm
Walk
not.
out with your thing
I'm
out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that judgmental guy because you know why? Because I'm not the one that has to live like that, and I don't have to answer for anything, in the afterlife for it. That's
No.
just so. I mean, if that's what makes you happy and enjoy life, then hey, you only got one life to live. You might as well enjoy it however you see fit. So,
Mhm. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. Well, Impact, we have taken on almost an hour and 25 minutes today already, and it went by quick. It went by very, very quick. I wanted to thank everybody for joining us today. Um, we have much more that we're going to talk about, and trust me, we're going to have a bigger show next week. We're going to go for 2 hours next week, right? Right? Am I
hey,
right?
I'm on board. Whatever you want to do.
All right. So we're going to be back for a 2 hour show next week on VOPUSARadio.com. Impact, is there anything that you would like to tell everybody before we go?
No, man. Hey, I'll just go out there and be safe. And like I said, enjoy your life. You only got that one life to live. Enjoy it. Do what makes you feel happy. And if ain't nobody, don't nobody support that, then that's on that's their problem. So
I agree. Guys, I just wanted to say thank you again for joining us. We had a lovely time with you guys today. Even though we didn't get much interaction, that's okay because next week, bring your questions, bring topics, bring everything with you next week. And Mr. Impact and I will be back next Thursday morning. Again, we do appreciate you guys for taking the time out to be here with us today. We love you guys. Don't forget to check out Politishock with Dan and NC and the guests at the round table tonight here at VOPUSARadio.com. And I want to tell you all have a great day and much love to you guys. We will be back, so stay tuned. And don't forget to check out Mr. Impact Show on Saturday mornings, Metalhead Unite with Chris. You all have a
yes,
wonderful day, and we will see you soon. Take care. God bless, and much love. Bye, guys.
see you all. Have a good one.
Perfect.